Alexa. Good morning. This is the morning edition of Encounters, the most popular spiritual UFO talk show that's usually on late night on social media. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. You're probably saying there was a void this morning. There wasn't much on TikTok to really watch. Now you're watching the #1 spiritual UFO talk show. We had a great show last night. We're going to have a good show this morning. Good morning, Johnny. Good morning, everybody. Summer, everybody come in. Heather, thank you for the likes. Please share and like, and please tap that button. We're only going to be on for an hour and probably 30 minutes, so an hour and a half this morning. Macy Grace, welcome to our show. Scott, welcome. Cassandra, everybody coming in here. This is the show you've been looking for. Encounters. Hey, Gerard, good to see you. Lady Nighthawk, good to see you. Witness, good to see you. LunaBella, Kevin Thomas, thank you for the follow. Finley, thank you for the flowers, the roses. We appreciate it. Everybody, Eric, DRP Transport, welcome. Glide, welcome to the show. Finley, thank you for the roses. Good morning, Joey. Good to see you. Arthur, good morning. Good morning, ALB Cap. Sprites, good morning. Marge, good morning. Good morning just to everybody out there, wherever you may be. It's good to have you. Oh, thank you for the hats. For the hat there, we appreciate the gift of the hat. Laura, I appreciate that so much. RC Dan, thank you for the roses. We appreciate it. We're just getting started this morning. And welcome everybody who's coming in here, who's watching the show. We're trying to do morning shows here for new people that have heard about us, but you're sleeping at night, like physically going to sleep early or whatever. So we're trying to do some stuff in the morning for everybody here. We do have the apple cider. Like we have a full gallon of apple cider. We have to have that in the morning and in the evening. And we are just blessed to see all of you here. Nick, welcome. Laura J. Dylan, thank you for following us. We appreciate the follow. Everybody follow us. If you haven't followed us before and you're new, user 660. We're trying to get up to 100,000 followers by summer to reach out to more people around the world. Our goal is to reach as many people with information here as we possibly can. I'm also, for those that are new to what I do here, I'm a contactee, which means a contactee is someone who's had contact with extraterrestrial intelligence. My first contact was in the 1960s when I was a kid. And I had contact with men and women in light blue spacesuits in a flying saucer that was hovering above my cul-de-sac when I lived in Long Island as a kid. It stayed there for quite a while. The story is I was downstairs in the kitchen in my house, and my brother, my mother, and my father were downstairs. It was after dinner. And all of a sudden, I just hightailed out of the kitchen, going to the second floor of the house for no reason. For no reason at all. I just decided I had to go upstairs. So I go upstairs into my brother's room, open the wooden window blinds, and there's a spaceship hovering at night with like a white colored mist around it. They looked right at me. They had these windows around the ship, and they looked right at me, and they communicated great love, and they said to me telepathically, that you're not from this world. And they said, you're not from Earth. You're here, but we want to remind you that you're not from this planet. That was my first experience as a kid. I never forgot that from the 1960s. The first time it happened, I thought it was a dream. I thought I was dreaming it. I was like, my mind would say, oh, no, it's not real. But it was. I physically went upstairs, left the kitchen, and went back down to try to get the family to come up. Nobody came up. And I was frustrated. Then I went back out and opened the window blind again, and the ship was still there. So that was my first experience. And I've had many sightings of what you would call UFOs, but they are spaceships. I've had many sightings since then. I became activated in my knowingness in my 20s, and I've been fully activated. I've traveled many spiritual levels of light in my path. I've never had a negative experience. I've never had any negative experiences whatsoever. My operational frequency vibration is very high up there, just to let you know. And good morning, everybody. Rod, good morning. Robert, Ashley, good morning. Doran, Pizza Man 15, welcome to the show. US, thank you for the likes. Bobby, Eugene, welcome to our show. For the new people coming in here, you're watching a show that's truly out of this world. I'm host of WESU's Ashtar Command radio show, which is on NPR Pacific Radio Sunday mornings. I've been doing that show for 21 years to give you some sort of a background of who I am, so you know I'm the real deal. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't have a pendulum swinging around on my show. I don't have cards flipping up in the air. I don't have any hokey pokey going on here. I work directly with the Ashtar Command, and before there was internet, I've been working with the Ashtar Command. Before there's any websites, I've been working with the actual Ashtar Command. Cap Scotty, why do you need Cash Apps or Venmo then? Because that is part of the TikTok experience. I don't know how long you've been on TikTok, but it's a natural part of it. I support it. It helps support the time I am on here, the mission work I do. And since we're living on Earth, I have no problem with it. And as long as TikTok offers it, a lot of TikTokers use the apps, and that's why we use them. So as you get used to TikTok, that's part of the reason I use it, is for the general stuff. When you subscribe, if you become a live content creator, you have a thing where people can subscribe, Scotty, to your TikTok and support whatever it is you're doing. In my case, we're raising funds in our subscription area for our C5 group. We have the Ashtar Command Contact Group, and we've been doing that for over 11 years. The money towards that goes towards night vision equipment, and we're eventually going to have the funds to use that for night vision. The general TikTok money goes to generally different things I do spiritually and whatever, and that's up to the individual. So no one's forced to do that. Hey, thanks, Captain Scotty, for your question. We appreciate it. Glad to have you with us, by the way. Bert, Dominic, all the people coming in here, welcome. Welcome, everybody. And I think Fink, can't catch all the names. Dan MC, Ryan Tomlinson, Michael Taylor, Shop with Matt. So a lot of you are probably new to this show. We're so happy you're finding us. Hey, Professor Torres. And so, I come from Mars. One of the things, if you're new to this show, I'm very much out there. I came from Mars originally. I work with the Ashtar Command. Mars is a planet, and the inhabitants of Mars is between 10 to 15 million people. Mars' atmosphere is similar to Earth. It has a very light blue sky. Mars has oxygen on it. Mars did go through some problems millions upon millions of years ago. They were testing out some advanced technology on the planet, and it backfired. But Mars as a planet has regenerated, and people live on Mars. Sometimes the people on Mars will go on the surface of the planet. There are some areas where they have agriculture on the surface. On Mars, there's also structures within Mars, and most of Mars's waterways are in the planet, not above it. So it's the reverse of on Earth. So I'm giving you information about my planet, where I come from originally. I'm fully conscious. I work in cosmic Christ consciousness. I am a contactee. I'm also able to, when I have guests on here and they tell me their stories, I can give them information. I'm able to fully activate and give a person information when I'm talking to them. Excuse me. So there's a lot to what I do here. If I had to say I was psychic, I'm not psychic in the traditional sense. For me, my psychic abilities would be more galactic than they are Earth-based. There's Earth-based psychics, and for me, mine is off-planet galactic, if you understand. So it's good to have you with us. If you're new to the show, thank you for the roses, George. You might not know we have a major event coming up in the United States on the 13th. This weekend. We're going to be having a gathering of people of our Ashtar Command Contact Group. My friend April in Vermont is going to be coming all the way down. She lives near the Canadian border. We are all working together. There are 5 of us that have been selected by our space family off planet from the Ashtar Command physically. We're going to be gathering to record Saturday night live on encounters. We're going to be documenting several Ashtar Command spaceships. So take notes here. What I'm giving you is information that is absolutely correct and real. Okay? We're not going to be sitting in a room going off planet in our dream state. We're not going to be wishful thinking. This is the real deal. What we're going to be doing is the real deal. And I'm absolutely in command of everything I'm saying right now. I'm sharing this information with you from a talk show perspective, but I also work with the Ashtar Command, so I'm speaking as an Ashtar Commander in Earth mission. Okay? When we get together, we're going to broadcast in an apple orchard field nearby. We're going to be in the field, and we're going to be gathering and recording every aspect of that night. The weather conditions will be perfect. We're not having any rain or anything. That's Thursday and Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday are going to be absolutely beautiful in this part of New England. We'll be showing you whatever we are seeing. We've been told that it's going to be a surprise. For those of you who might understand this, you have Earth-based family members. When I say that, you have biological family members that you are born into a family with mothers and fathers, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, relatives, cousins. But do you know, for those of you who have never thought about this, and I want to say this because I don't assume everybody knows this who's coming into my broadcast, that you have a biological cosmic family off planet. Every single one of you do. Whether you believe it or not, you do. You have, when your parents pass away on Earth, those are Earth-based parents. But do you know that you came here from somewhere else beyond Earth? You came here from a different planetary system, a different star system. So you have biological family off planet. You might have brothers and sisters from a different planet. You might have mothers and fathers from a different planet, but you do. You do. And we're going to be broadcasting live. So what I'm trying to tell you is I have a father. His name is Robar. I have a mother. Her name is Luna. I have two sisters and a brother that eventually I will meet. Within the next 6 months after this happens, the four of us, April has been the key contact in Vermont, and there's a reason for that. And there will be these things happening all over the world. There'll be potentially one person and then four other people, whether it be in Europe or Scandinavia or a little island in the Pacific. There will be certain people that will be contacted, and then the other four in their groups, wherever they are, will be contacted by the Ashtar Command. Okay? Ryan says, I don't think my space family speaks American English. Well, I wouldn't worry about that too much. Good morning, young Skywalker. So what's going to happen is down the road, within probably a 6-month period, there's actually four of us beyond April. There's a total of 5. April, myself, CmdrAleon, Chesno, who's in Connecticut, also Kit Kat, which is in Long Island, who's going to be coming to the event, and also Johnny, who's in New Jersey. Are you spreading misinformation? No, I'm sharing information directly. I'm the one sharing the information. This is coming from me, Jordan. My information is accurate. Welcome to the show. My information is absolutely 1,000% accurate. I've been a contactee since the 60s. I have a lot of knowledge, and I'm sharing that knowledge. Like I said, I don't read cards. I don't have a crystal ball in my hand. I'm not going to do a pendulum to get the information. I'm giving you information that's real. I know it's probably, by your question, it's actually new to you. So I'm glad you're here. You're going to learn a lot from the commander. If you stick around enough, I'm going to break the matrix. I'm glad you're asking questions. That means you're thinking. You're thinking about what I'm saying, so I appreciate it. Can you tell me anything about the weather controlling UFO people? The people on the weather controlling UFO are there to clean the environment, as April was saying last night. That particular ship is to regenerate pure water back in, as she was saying last night, to the trees, because that ship also does more than that. It's here to slowly clean up our environment. Those ships, the weather ships, are here to clean up our environment, which are people that are in control of power have tried to mess up the air on our planet, and these ships are there to clean up the mess that they've created. Okay? So understand that to be true. So there are 5 of us in this group. Like I said, Chesno, Kit Kat, April, myself, that within the next 6 months, we will be joining April and going on the spaceships directly. We're not going to be dreaming about it. We're not going to be, going into a Merkaba state. We're going to be physically invited and going on the ship. So I'll be meeting my family, my father, my mother, and my 2 sisters and brother who are on the ship. We'll be coming back with information that we're going to share with each of you when we come back. We're going to document everything. We're going to keep a documentation of everything we're going to share with you. It's going to be very transparent. Everything we do on this show has always been transparent. And again, it's going to blow your mind probably for those that have believed all the lies you've been told on this planet for 70 years. But we're going to give you good information. We're not going to give you misinformation here. We don't do that. Not on this show. LunaBella, I have been on the ship a few times. Oh, interesting, LunaBella. LunaBella, we're going to follow you. LunaBella, would you like to come on the show? We do interviews here, believe it or not. That's what we do. Our show is usually on at 11 o'clock. So if you're new, we're trying to do some morning shows. There's a large morning TikTok crowd there. We're trying to reach you. We want to educate you. We want to interact on the show with you and get you to know that there is some real stuff going on out there that you're not being told. There's been a lot of lies out there, a lot of misinformation out there. The commander's here to bust the matrix. All right. So you're going to hear me say things that you're not going to hear anywhere else. You're going to hear me, go there and not be afraid to go there because I'm here to bust the matrix. We're going to bring Luna on. Luna is going to be our first guest for this morning. And Krista Lee Miller, we're going to follow you. Krista Lee, if you want to hold on, we'll bring you on after Luna. Luna, good morning.
Divine Rising, everybody. How are we doing?
We're doing good. How are you doing?
Fabulous. Geared up for today. I'm ready to go.
Oh, I know. The eclipse is coming. So tell us about where you are, how your experience started. I'm very interested in your story.
Okay, so I'm from Sacramento, California. I was birthed into this world being a multi-dimensional jumper. So I'm always aware of my multiverses. I'm very aware of switching from plane to plane. So when I want to go somewhere, I can. And I've just I've always seen in other realms. I've always been aware. And I've been contacted by beings my whole life. So this is right up my alley.
So now, when you say I listen so carefully to my guests. So when you say you've been contacted by beings all your life, what year did it start? Can you tell us what they looked like?
My first memory, and I was a baby, and I was in a drawer. Okay, first memory was a couple months old, and it went back to it. Always my first memory is always my death in the Orion Wars. That has always been my first reoccurring dream. Is the death, my death in the Orion Wars. So you remember your past life off planet, what you were doing, right? I remember being part of the Big Bang. I remember creation.
Huh. Well, continue on. I'm just trying to give people a kind of an understanding as I'm listening to the story. Go ahead.
Yes. So yeah. So my whole life I have been, I guess, barely here, and have been switching back and forth through these multiverses. So with the last 3 years, I have been grounded really heavily in this body for the first time. So now I'm having this human experience for the first time. But I've been contacted since I was I can't even remember. Since I was a kid, they've always came.
Now, when you say they always came, because we have a lot of people over the world trying to learn stuff, as well as people that already know stuff. We have a mixed audience.
First, it was the Greys.
Yeah, well, those were the negatives. But
first it was the Greys. My father had demonic possession growing up.
Yeah, we don't want to get into that.
So I've always seen in those realms.
Yeah, we want to stay from we'll stay away from any of that other non-ET stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so we just want to focus on the.
Well,
on
it
the
was just
other
it was being so young, I didn't understand how to decipher the two.
Oh, okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
I was being attacked by both.
Oh, okay.
At the same time, with the grays and the other going on.
So how did you get into, like, do you now operate in Christ? Do you know what Christ consciousness is?
Yeah, yes, I do. And my soul knows a lot more than that, so I can't regard and that's now Christ has come to me in certain situations when I have worked with lower level entities, but remembering as much as I remember previous to so the Christos linear I can completely get down. The Christos linear, like the ley lines of the actuality of the way the world is, the ley lines, I can get down with that.
Yes,
but
so
the biblical Christ consciousness.
Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about I always do, because I'm very much here to help people, and I work in the Ashtar Command. We work completely Christ consciousness, the non-religious Christ consciousness. So my thing is too, if you've ever been attacked, and I don't know if you're being attacked now or not. I hope
no, I don't anymore.
Okay, but I'm always saying, even if you're not being, you always should just say, it's not so when you need it. You always want to put a bubble of Christ consciousness wherever you go as a light worker in your work you're doing, and that will always, always, always protect you. Like you can put a bubble around your house and be protected constantly with the Christed energies of light. You know that, right?
Yes, I do. I do. But I call in Divine Mother, and I work with her source.
Okay. So tell us about the positive beings that you've experienced. I'm very curious.
I've had Ashtar come to me. Ashtar was one of the first beings that was a humanoid who came to, like in a humanoid figure that came to me.
Right.
And I was at Mount Shasta, probably 15 years ago. Lake Shastina, and I was with a spiritual group up there in meditation. One of my shamans comes down from Peru every couple of years, and we meet on the mountain for ceremony. So he took us out there. We were all sitting outside, and everybody thinks I'm the crazy girl because I'm over here bringing up, oh, look it, they're coming. They're all coming. Watch.
What's that? What's happening?
All the extraterrestrials, like all the different beings were coming. You know, that mountain.
Oh, the mountain.
Yeah. Mount Shasta itself is an energetic field. It has
I know about Mount Shasta.
Energy, yeah.
So that's where you were when you had how many? There were a lot of people there in the group.
There was a lot of people there in the group. They all went to bed, and I'm still outside watching. And a ship came right by the house. I mean, directly up to the house and swung by. So I woke everybody up, and everybody in the house got to see the Galactic Highway. So they got to see all the ships coming off the mountain at the same time. So I was no longer crazy to these people. But in that same moment, after I went to sleep, showed them all that, that's when Ashtar came to me for the first time. And he always zaps me in my forehead first, every time. He comes in and he zaps me in my forehead before he communicates any information. And you know what? I know that he is now here in this physical realm.
Oh, yes. I work with Ashtar. I've worked with him all my life.
In this material realm. So I know he is no longer on that ship. And that's why I no longer see him up there. Because he used to come in me all the time.
Life of Shaman says, what is the AYA Hushaka ceremony?
Ayahuasca?
The ayahuasca ceremony, yes. I'm sorry.
I have done many ayahuasca ceremonies, and I give medicine as well. So I wasn't on medicine during the ceremony. She said,
I think they're asking, what is it? Like, could you describe for the audience what that is? I think that's
what ayahuasca is. So when you're on the medicine, she comes in, and I will say she, because she is a very feminine feeling that comes through your body. Her spirit is very feminine, and she comes through, and she brings all the things to you that need to be healed, all the diseases in your body that needs to be healed, everything that's brought to your forefront, and allows you to see it through her eyes. rather than your eyes. So you
Mm.
no longer see it with the hurt, with the disease. You see the reason why it was placed in your life in that moment, and you're
Mm-hmm.
allowed to release it.
Mm.
So it's such a
Interesting.
it's consciousness looking back at consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
and she
Wow.
brings that energy into you. So I mean, ayahuasca. I am in a program now that I don't even need to take medicine because I am doing the same thing and able to get to acquired um, extension within like 30
Mm-hmm.
minutes compared to
Mm-hmm.
now needing medicine.
Mm-hmm.
But for anybody, ayahuasca is a very find a true facilitator. It's divine medicine. It is
You know,
divine
so,
medicine.
well, wife of shaman says the reason why I ask is because I study a lot with shamans. My husband being one. Okay,
Yes.
so that's why
Yes.
she's asking that question.
Yes.
Yeah, and
It's
so
consciousness. Looking back at consciousness, when you're in that
mhm.
space, you're able to heal the disease and what you need out of your body because you don't have your human
Right,
source looking at your source. Yes.
right. Now let me ask you a question. Have you physically been, when I say physically, I mean without being in a Merkaba state or any dream, have you been physically taken on a spaceship, like whether the ship hovered, they invited you on? Have you had that experience?
Yes.
Can you share
Yes.
what that is?
I was up in Collins Lake and I asked to come on to my Federation ship, and I got there, and they did not want me there. I could tell that the captain was somebody I was related to, either a father or uncle,
Mm-hmm.
and they were not. They were like, she's not ready to be here yet. But
Yeah.
they threw me into a crystal bed,
Mm-hmm.
and I was able to get everything readjusted, and then they transported me back down.
What year was that? What year did that happen to you?
Let's see, call it 7. I would probably say the last eclipse was 7 years ago, so probably about 5 years ago.
5 years ago. And where were you at the time that occurred? Like what state?
I was in California.
You're in California.
Yes.
Whereabouts in California when that happened?
Collins Lake, so near Browns Valley.
I say I have no idea what that is, but I'm in Connecticut. But
I'm in Sacramento, which is the city, which is state capital city, but I spend most of my time in the mountains around me. So most of the energies do come as soon as you leave the city.
And so
I mean, we see UFOs here, but nothing like once you step outside of the.
So when you were actually there, obviously it makes sense they would say you're not ready. They can read human consciousness, as you know, and so now obviously when you are ready, then obviously that whole situation would be different. So anything they're doing in love because they want to make sure you're ready before you have the experiences you're going to have. So that's probably part of the reason. Interesting.
It was a very weird feeling to have, like somebody. It was almost like I don't know how to explain it, like a inferior thing, like almost like a race thing. Like I don't even know how to explain it. Like because I'm hybrid, it was like a almost like a looking down on me type thing in that moment.
Well, that's your human mind saying that. That's not the spiritual you. The human mind is doing that to you.
It wasn't. I wasn't in my human mind during that. I was completely.
But what you're saying now is coming from a human perspective. What you're saying right now, I mean, not when you were there. It is definitely you.
You see, anywhere you go, there's going to be some type of configuration. There's going to be somebody somewhere. I mean, look at there's been several people from the GFL that have jumped ship and went the other way during time, right?
Yeah, I know about all those different.
You know what I'm saying? So there's always going to be one in a bunch.
So let me ask you a question. And I'm reading comments from my audience. Mike Terry, thank you for your question. Did the ship look holographic and transparent from the ground looking up?
When Ashtar comes, yes. Not my Federation ship.
Yeah. So one of the things, this is one of the things people need to know. There's these different groups, but there's one major some group. It's not even a confederation. The Ashtar Command oversees all these other groups that are. It's like having like a little wire that goes down to different groups that are involved, councils and so forth. So for those that are new here, the Ashtar Command is the overseer, sort of like the United Galactic Nations of planetary worlds of peace.
Yes.
So that's what and so all these other groups she's talking about, they do exist, but the overall light of all these areas is one soul unity, which is the Ashtar Command. Just to let people know as I'm educating people. Now, XOXO is saying, did you say you were a hybrid?
Yes, I'm able to jump from form to form.
Well, you know, in terms of a hybrid, do you have a, let's say, for example, now I know I have parents that are, I'm not a hybrid at all. I come directly from the Ashtar Command. I have a family on the ship. April's here watching. And so my family, I have 2 sisters and a brother, and she has family too, but we're not hybrids. So how did you, can you explain what it is and how you became a hybrid before you came to Earth? What facilitated you, becoming a hybrid?
Which facilitated me?
How did you become a hybrid is what I'm trying to ask you.
Okay, let me write this down let me write this down. Let me find my
See, my background's in news and media. So I ask questions. Thank God I have the ability. My background, I studied news and media with Pacifica Radio and NPR radio people when I was in college. So I ask those questions because I think it's good for people to know what that means to you, how you became a hybrid. Now I know what a hybrid is, but what?
Now let me find my diary of my stuff that I write everything down. So that was just.
And you're watching Encounters, folks. This is, if you've never seen our show before, we do this show. It's a popular show. We're on nightly on TikTok. I'm the host of WESU-FM's NPR radio program, Pacifica radio program, Ashtar Command Radio, for about 21 years. So everything I do here is real. I work with the Ashtar Command. I work in cosmic Christ consciousness. I'm from Mars. And there's a lot of stuff. I'm like a cosmic book, so to speak. And we interview people.
One thing I will say, as I'm looking through this, I am so grateful that Ashtar brought Ondar's to the forefront with me, because that's been a game changer for sure.
Yeah, and I think it's YAHMS. Yes, I'm from Mars. I'm not from Earth. I am human. So I wanted to make a distinction. I am physically a human, but I am from the planet Mars originally. I'm fully conscious of where I came from. And I work with the Ashtar Galactic Command. And if you have any questions, folks, about the Ashtar Command from a direct perspective, I can give you that answer. I've been involved with the command before there was any internet websites on the computer. I've been working with the command in my adult life, and I've been a contactee since the 60s. Just to give people please tell me more about it's not called I think it's YAHMS. It's Ashtar, not astral. It's ASHTAR, Ashtar. It's not the Astral Command. It's the Ashtar, TAR command. So
I'm trying to figure out what they.
And I'm getting questions. People want to. Jake loves geology. The geology of Mars. Mars has a ice cap similar to what you call the North Pole. It has a polar cap. Mars has a light blue atmosphere, and Mars now is a very breathable planet with oxygen, and there are people, 10 to 15 million inhabitants living, mostly not all within Mars, and there are some structures above Mars that are very advanced, and people live very differently on Mars. Let me say this about Mars. Mars is a planet that is very much in a Christed consciousness. It's a very spiritual planet. Unlike Earth, you say, well, we're in the same solar system. How could the frequencies be different? It's like night and day. On Earth, the Earth went into a lower vibrational pattern for a long time. Mars is operating in a very, very galactic frequency of light, and it's a very beautiful, beautiful planet. But the geology of Mars is there are waterways within Mars. There's oceans, rivers, lakes within the planet Mars, and the reversal on your planet Earth, everything is above for the most part. Although you do have underground waterways on Earth too, but Earth, most of it's on the surface unless you understand the inner Earth or the Agartha network, where there is a sun. There are very advanced spiritual people living within the Earth in the Agartha network. If you study that, you will understand that the Earth is not a solid planet. It is actually a hollow planet, contrary to popular scientific understanding. Let's see here. Pookie, good morning. Post Lurker, are you asking me, am I an Aries, or are you asking Luna? I'm a Pisces.
I'm a triple Leo.
So the person that says, ha ha, well, the person that believes that, I'm going to say bye-bye to that person. See, the commander, I have moderators on here, but I also am the host of the show. The beautiful part is, you know, when I have something like that, I just take them out. That's all.
So what do you know about Bellatrix being Federation?
I have heard of Bellatrix. I don't really focus on it much. I'm really focused on the greater picture, which is right now contact. And what I'm really more focused on is preparing people for direct contact in the next year and a half.
Isn't that one of the planets that once we are taken to, once this ice age is about to happen?
We're not going to. Well, let me explain something. We're not going to have any ice age. What we are going to have is a transformation of the planet. We're going to be living on the planet that we are here. When people talk about ascension, I've seen all this stuff. I've been there in terms of the information. People say, "Oh, we're going to ascend to another planet." No, you're not. This is the Earth you're living on. There's a split between an Earth that's not. But
it's a different material. It's a different material realm.
It's not a material realm. It's that we're going to ascend into our
own etherical realm.
Well, we're going to not even etherical. We're going to actually, our planet and the solar system is going up into a higher frequency, and that's why you're able to see the spaceships. 30 years ago, we weren't at that level. The frequency on Earth right now and in this universe is so high up. That's why a lot of people are having more experiences with their star people, their star families, whether it be from another planet or what have you. You're going to see a lot of that occurring now. There's not going to be any ice age. I don't read any websites. All my information comes directly off planet. I don't read anybody's, narratives or any person's
not
scenarios.
Anybody's narratives. This is what I've been downloaded.
Oh, download, yeah. We're not going to have any ice age. We're not going to have that.
Our polar shift just switched, so that's an 80-year.
Well,
80-year mire till we start switching.
Yeah,
so,
we've been actually gradually.
It's going to happen.
We've been gradually going through a transformation, but we're not going to have an ice age. We're just not going to have it. We are going to be living in a planet that's going to be eventually, it's taking time. We're going to transfer from where we are now as a society with shopping malls and all this other stuff to a place where we're not going to have any of that. We're going into a whole nother. Yeah.
So that has, yeah.
So just let people know. Now, I know I have requested, I think, do we believe in God? Of course, all the space people believe in God. I think, and we're going to take some more guests on here. I know I only have so much time this morning. So Luna, we're going to thank you for being here. I got so many people on.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your stories too, tonight I'll have more time with people. Everyone, thank Luna for being here. We got a little gist of her life, her story. So we thank her. And let me see here. And let's see. Do I believe in God? Jesus. Okay. So Larry Manns, the space people and on other planets, we believe in God in a more universal way. On Earth, we don't believe in religion. The Earth-based religions are basically things we don't believe in. Those are all man-made religions, and they divert people from cosmic truth. Jesus Christ off planet is known as Sananda. Sananda, the Christ, is a cosmic being. The Jesus that you understand versus the Jesus we know is a star being. Jesus came from the stars. And this flies in the face of earth-based religions. So be it, that's what we're here to do. So yeah, Jesus is a star being, and he came here on a mission to Earth. He left the planet, and he went actually back on a big spaceship, which contradicts all the Earth-based religious teachings, and that's what I'm here to do, bust the matrix, right? So yeah, we would, most of you talk to anybody who's a star person, anyone who is awakened here, they'll tell you Jesus is from off planet. And when we look at God as being a creator of life everywhere in the multiverse. People that live on Earth think of God as just Earth-based, but you're only one planet. The Earth is only one planet out of billions and billions of planets that have life on them. And God created all over the universe. God didn't say, I'm going to create Earth. We're going to create a bunch of Earth-based religions, and they're going to believe in God. It's not the way it works. See, that's a 3D illusion, right? But I'm glad you asked the question. So God is universal. God is love. God is light. God created everything in the multiverse. And Jesus is a star being, star person. So yeah, very beautiful, very funny. Jesus is way, way different than Earth-based religions interpret him to be. So I appreciate your question. I have requested. Tony, I think it's Tonefinity has requested. So let me see if somebody wants to come on live. I'm trying to catch up with everything here. The person that said they had the UFO stuff, if you're still here, okay, me. So you need to give me a sentence, people that want to come on live. Give me a sentence as to what you want to share with us on the show, and I'll bring you on here. We're going to be on here till 10:30, so we're going to try to interview as many people as we can. The rules of interviewing is number 1, no profanity. Number 2, no drugs, no drinking. Number 3, no smoking of any sort in any category, and also you must be over 18. And no paranormal discussion. We stay away from paranormal discussion on encounters. There's tons of other shows here or people that do that. So yeah. But if you do, and Bertie, we don't get into the flat Earth. There's a lot of people doing that. I'll just put it this way: all the planetary systems are oval or round planets. There's no flat this or that or anything else. And that I'll just keep it at that. And then you go, hey, Lopaka, good to see you. Mama Jules says, so how did you become involved with the star people? Because I am a star person. Great question, Mama. I came from Mars. I also have been working off planet with the Ashtar Command. I was involved in intergalactic communications, which is different than this. We worked with crystals. We had crystallized structures that we were able to use to communicate between different galactic planetary systems. And here I had to learn how to use, I learned pretty quickly that on Earth you don't have that. So I use the cell phone, I use the internet, and I've been using it quite well, and also radio broadcasting. I use radio broadcasting to get the message out for 21 years. So I've adapted to Earth-based technology. Let's see here. Is the eclipse going to cause anything? Tired eyes. Very good question. People have been asking me on the show for days now about the eclipse and trying to get my perception of that whole thing. I know there's a lot of people on TikTok producing these content created videos with agendas, and they are agendas. They're all telling you what their perceptions of reality are, which is fine, but some of it's fear-based, some of it's not. My perception of this is that it's going to be up to the individuals to see things or experience things. I'm not going to tell people, I never will tell you what to do with the eclipse. That's up to you. You have to go on inner meditation and feel how you feel about the eclipse. It's not for me to judge anybody about that. I'm still meditating about it. I'm still considering it. I'm still looking at the idea. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but I will go in my best inner guidance. I always go by inner guidance. You should as well. If you meditate, go meditate for 30 minutes this morning and ask yourself, what am I going to get from this? What is my experience going to be? And it could be that you have the most beautiful experience in the world. It could be that you have nothing happen except seeing the eclipse. I will say this. This is the information I was getting. I'm going to share it now. And this is coming directly off planet. Okay? The eclipse is a time for great transformation, meaning that it's a shift in consciousness. I believe from what I'm getting, and this is my first time sharing this, I've been doing a lot of meditation. I will tell you this. If you so desire, wherever you are on the planet, to look at the eclipse, it's not so much looking at it, it's what you're going to feel from the energy. The looking at the eclipse is not going to do anything. It's just going to be looking at the eclipse. But the energy is the thing you need to look at. And that you can see. It's what you're going to feel, right? Everyone's saying, look at the eclipse, look at the eclipse. This is going to happen. No, they're getting it wrong. I just got the download information last night. If you feel the energy during the eclipse, go and meditate during the eclipse. Go within during the eclipse. Meditate. And tell me afterwards, what are you feeling? There's going to be an energy shift. A lot of people are messaging me and asking me, Commander, what's going to happen during the eclipse? I have no idea. And anyone who says they do doesn't really have an idea either. They're projecting their own thoughts, their own opinions, right? Go within, meditate. Allow yourself to clear. Don't go by what other people say. That's the worst thing you can do. You know, too many people try to influence other people. I'm not here to influence anybody, but tell you the truth. Clear your mind, clear your consciousness. Allow yourself to not think about it. This is what gets you in trouble, the mind. Go into your spiritual being in your heart. I'm not talking about the physical heart. I'm talking about the spiritual heart. Meditate before the eclipse tonight or today. Meditate. What do you feel? Go with your own feelings. I can't tell you how to feel. I'm not here to do that. You know, no one should be doing that to anybody. There are people that are, not me. My mission has always been to be true to you, to be cosmically giving you information that's correct. I want you to meditate. I'll guide you to do one thing. Meditate, go within. And it's not so much looking at the eclipse. Anyone can do that. Meditate. During the eclipse, do your meditation. And after the eclipse, tell me how you feel. Okay? How do you feel? What's happening? What are you seeing? What's the shift that you're seeing? It could be that there's going to be galactic things happening during the eclipse. There could be things that happen. Maybe galactic spaceships are going to appear during the eclipse. It could be, and probably will be, without a question. All right? So what is the best thing for you to do during the eclipse? The many of you that are watching this, what is the best thing for you? Right? No. Yeah, Karen, you're right. I'd rather feel than see the eclipse. That is the key thing I was getting. It's not seeing the eclipse. What are you going to get from the energy that's coming through between the eclipse starting and the ending of the eclipse? I feel very strong, says, I speak for the trees. I feel very strong, like I need to volunteer, help my community, be of service to the service. Sun is brighter today. Beautiful. You know, and I'm going to read your comments. So if you're interested in being a guest on the show, I know there's one person earlier, I don't remember who it was, that talked about they had all these UFO videos that they wanted to talk about. If you have 200 plus followers, you can come on the show. If you have 1,000, I'd love to hear your story. Nicole Tarter Jones, do you have meditation music playlists? Not really. I would say just use higher dimensional music. You can do it on YouTube. There's beautiful videos of music for higher frequency music or Christ conscious music. And if you look at those videos, pick one that you feel comfortable with and you can play it and meditate during the eclipse. On Sunday's show, I love. Yeah, I have Nicole Carter. I'll have to go through my radio list. Let me see. I'm reading people's comments. I see energy and unseen things, or at least things most can't. Interesting, Rose. I'll be in the state of gratitude. Good morning, love, peace, and light. Hey, GC, good morning. I do listen to them. We are truly sun babies, Kimmy BOP says. I'm reading people's comments here. And who would like to join us on this show and share some of your cosmic UFO stories, as your contact with star people or space people? You have to have over 200 followers to come on. We'd love to have you on the show. So just give me a note here, a comment, so I know who you are. I'm CmdrAleon, the host of Encounters at Night. I usually do the show at 11 o'clock in the evening. So if you're new to the show, welcome to our morning show. We're trying to do some morning shows here. JC Essence, would you like to tell us what area you'd like to share with us on the show today? So if people want to come on the show, please give us a comment regarding your intergalactic UFO, spaceship, star people, visitations, crop circles, mer people, Bigfoot. Tell me in the sensing what you want to talk about. And we appreciate all the follows out there around the world. We do appreciate all of you. Do you have contact with Ashtar Command or Cobra? There's only one command, is the Ashtar Command, which represents all the galactic forces. They represent every single universal galactic force of light, is the Ashtar Command. Everything below that is, like little sub things of whatever. But the Ashtar Command represents all the Christed levels of light. Let me see here. I'm trying to read. Okay, so I want to get an idea of what people want to talk about. Let's see. And let's just do this here. So if you'll tell me, in a sense, what the areas that you want to talk about, visitations with space people. FK says, I woke up feeling enlightened and happy. Very good. Very good. Shirley, welcome to our show. For lights in a row, always come to my backyard every spring and summer. User 383, we'd like to bring you on. Let's see if I can. Oh, man, you only have 29 followers. My husband dog disappeared for a minute. Interesting, Half Pint. I'm getting some interesting stories here. Let's see, who do I have coming on here? Post Lurker. We're going to bring Post Lurker up, and hopefully things will be good. Post Lurker.
Hey,
welcome to the show, Post Lurker. Good to have you with us.
Thank you.
And can you tell me where you're from?
Oh man, I've been all over. Like originally, I'm from Texas, but I live in Florida now.
Oh, great! And can you give some background about what's going on with your experiences, UFO visitations? Where are we going in terms of what you
I've
want to talk
never
about?
had any visitations or abductions or UFO contact personally.
Okay.
I've had some paranormal experiences.
Yeah, we're gonna stay away from that. We'll stay away from paranormal.
Okay.
So yeah. But if you have questions to me about this whole thing with UFOs or the ETs or what's happening, go ahead.
Well, I don't know what's your thought process on it. Do you think that like it's even real? I mean, I believe in paranormal stuff for sure.
So we want to stay from the paranormal because
okay, you want to stay away from that. Okay.
I don't do paranormal. I strictly UFOs and ETs.
So I have experience with that, but do you have any real experience with UFO encounters?
Oh yeah. I've been a contactee when I was a kid in the 60s in Long Island. I went upstairs for no reason. My parents and my brother were downstairs, and I went upstairs for no reason on the second floor to my brother's room, opened up the window, I opened up the wooden blinds, and there was a spaceship physically hovering in the cul-de-sac, almost at ground level, with men and women with light blue outfits. And they were looking at me. They were telepathic, and they communicated with me at a young age, preteen, that I wasn't from this earth. I never forgot. That was my first journey into something I never even understood.
Wow, that's quite astonishing. For lack of a better term, but and I mean, I believe, I guess I want to believe,
Yeah, you will eventually have an experience. The way you have to look at this, I know that I'm not from this planet. I came here on mission to Earth. I'm fully awakened.
So what planet are you from?
Mars. 10 to 15 million inhabitants live on Mars right now. Contrary to what NASA, I believe. There's a lot of lies that have been told to people by NASA, about Mars.
Sure.
And yeah, I'm here to bust the matrix and give people some actual information.
Okay. Well, you know, I take everything with a grain of salt.
Well, there you go. You got it sometimes, right?
Yeah, you got to. Like, you know, like there's that old adage, you know, don't believe everything you see, you know, kind
Right.
of thing. And only half of what you hear. So,
Right.
I may have gotten that backwards, but
or something. But the main thing to learn is that everything you've been told, no matter what age you are, whatever generation you are, that everything you've been told on the media and most documentaries and most things you're seeing on the major media around the world are all based on lies. The Pentagon, for example, with their whole thing of telling people truth about UFOs and releasing the little bits of things they released. In truth, the Pentagon's done nothing to tell people anything about the space people, anything about what's going out there. They know what's going on out there. You see what I mean?
Well, okay. So like, here's where I'm just going to like say like, oh shit, I had a train of thought and I lost it. But anyways,
no problem.
Life is about experiencing and learning, right? For yourself. Right. Like we are all on our own paths. We all have different experiences. True. We all have
absolutely correct.
Different experiences. I'm open to anybody's interpretation because, you know, I haven't, you know, lived your life. I haven't lived this person's life. Like, but I feel like I'm going to choose not to be like a victim of my circumstances. Right. Mm-hmm. But I have,
right.
You know, I've developed my own interpretation. We're spiritual beings in a human form, right?
Right. That's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
You got it.
So once you kind of understand that part and you understand that everybody's like going through their own shit. Sorry for my French.
Yeah, we're trying to keep the language. But go ahead.
Yeah, my bad. But you know, once you understand that part, everybody's going through their own stuff.
Oh, they are always.
Yeah. And once you can kind of empathize with people and understand like that you don't fully understand them, right? Then we got something to work on.
Yeah, it's a matter of people, a lot of people, and this is the beautiful thing is, I know with this show, and I've been doing radio for 21 years, doing this kind of thing on NPR radio, mm-hmm. that not everybody, I never assume anybody completely is at the same level as the next person, which is always a good thing, because I know when I have people on here, I don't know what their level of understanding is, and I don't, you know, I never assume anything. So I love that kind of conversation because, you know, if we can have this stuff like
anybody, man.
No, you're good. I mean, we're having a dialogue. You're interested in the subject. You're here because your inner spirit, the spiritual you, wants to understand more of what this is about. Right. You have an expanded consciousness, which is a beautiful thing. So I think it's just great.
Listen, if you're a Pisces, I got a Pisces moon. I'm also Aries. Like
yeah. I'm straight on Pisces. Yeah.
That's cool, man. No, right. listen, I don't really negate things. I'm just here to learn and understand people.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you found the show because I'm starting to do morning shows.
I do
thank you very much.
Soon.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm gonna
well, have a good trip. Well, maybe there'll be a spaceship one day that will follow you and you'll be invited on a spaceship.
One of these days, man, the rapture.
You never know, right?
It's not going to be today, but one of these days.
It won't be today. All right. Hey, everyone, I want to thank Post Lurker. Take care. Thanks for the follow, man. Take care.
Yeah, for sure.
We appreciate that. See, this is what we do here, you know. We bring people up from all walks of life, and I love it. You know, it's just, it's really great to have such a mixed audience because not everyone's at the same level, you know, but if people are open to learn, that's the most beautiful thing, right? Right? Everybody excited when they have a Pisces moon, you know. Now, I want to show you, I'm going to show you, for those in the morning who have not seen this yet, I need to show you this. This is a city that is in the clouds. So I want to show you this. This is going to blow your mind. We're here to blow your mind. Let me see if I have it. It's right here. So I'm going to show you this picture. All right. And you just, if you look at the picture, just move your screen, tap your screen. You can move your you can get rid of all the people that are oh wow, how come it's so big? You can see if you turn your screen, if you have a Android or iPhone, just move your screen. The comments will disappear. I think right or left, for whatever kind of phone you have, right or left. You can see this. This is a city in the clouds. This is a city of the clouds where the Ashtar Command people live, and they go off the ships. They live in the city, and this is a thing that April was able to get a picture of, and she's traveled to many of the areas. You might not know where April is. She's one of our. She's the key person, and then there's 4 of us. We're all going in the next 6 months together. We'll be going on Ashtar Command spaceships directly. It's a cloud city, yes. Yes. As a matter of fact, I'm going to bring her up this morning. Let me see here. What am I doing? I'm going to do this. What am I doing? Oops. No, I don't want to do that. Okay. Oh. I'm going to bring her up this morning, and she'll describe a little bit more about the cloud ship. But this is the cloud. This is not the cloud ship, the cloud city, the city in the clouds. Okay. Excuse me. It's a beautiful picture. Look at that. Oops, here she is. Oh, that's why it got small. Okay. Okay. And hey, April, good morning.
Good morning. Hang on, let me mute this TV here. Okay.
And I know we have a mixed audience, a lot of new people that haven't seen this. There are people that have, but I don't assume anything here. So April is our key contact who's been on the Ashtar Command ships with her family and seen my family physically over, 11 times now?
Yes, 11 times.
Okay, I got my numbers right.
Yes.
and so she's also going to be with us in Connecticut for our live broadcast on April 13th at the Apple Orchard, where several Ashtar Command spaceships will be physically appearing. We've also been told that there will be a surprise. It's sort of like, you have to have the background story, but it's sort of like a belated birthday present to me by my father, whose name is Rubar, and he is on the spaceship. She has her family on the spaceship. So there's a relationship. We've been friends off planet. We've been like a brother and sister off planet. And there's a whole storyline that would take too long to go into. But good morning, April, and
Good
please
morning.
welcome her to the show, everybody.
So guys, so this is a cloud city. There are several of these all around the planet, up in our atmosphere. And if you look closely, there are almost like bars going around the sides of this building that's up in or this city that's up in the clouds. And those bars actually hold up this, it's almost like an energy field that surrounds the cloud city. And what this device does is these beings are aware that we have like birds and things like that fly in our atmosphere. So they anticipated that, eventually a bird or, a plane or something along those lines might accidentally, head towards one of their cloud cities. So they had put this barrier around their cities. And what happens is this barrier will catch and freeze like a bird or a plane in place. And so a lot of people have posted seeing these things, like they think the matrix is broken, and they're like, oh, a glitch in the matrix, and they see these frozen birds stuck in the sky. Well, what's going on is those birds are actually stuck in one of these energy fields that are protecting these cloud cities. And what'll happen is a space person will get into a ship and come along and gather those birds or whatever animal or whatever has gotten stuck in those energy fields, and they will take them away from the city and point them in the direction that they were headed and release them. But so these birds are not hurt, injured, or any of that. At one point, I was told that a plane had actually gotten stuck in one of the fields, and they had to tow the plane out from this energy field. But yeah, these cloud cities are all over our planet. And the space being, they're called pop-up cloud cities. They can take them down as quickly as they put them up. But they are cloaked with moisture from our own atmosphere, from our own plants and trees and all of that. The space people have an agreement with our nature, and what they do is they borrow moisture from our planet. So they will take the moisture from the trees and plants and things like that, and they will use it for their cloud cloaking capabilities to hide these cities, so that, you know, humans don't get startled by seeing them until we're ready. And so after they are done using the moisture, they will take it onto these cloud cities where they have devices that will clean the air, take all the pollution out, take all the nuclear waste out, all the garbage out of it. Then they will take the moisture, the water, and put it back onto one of their ships, which are called weather ships. And then it will be distributed to where the water is needed the most, but it's brought back to us cleaned. So they are doing their part as to helping us in small parts to clean our water, and they also have ships that clean our atmosphere as well. But this is a cloud city, guys, and for some reason they let it be seen, and this is actually taken above Vermont.
Yeah, and can you explain that when you were you outside with the camera getting a picture of this at the time?
Yes.
So I want people to know this is her picture that you're seeing. She didn't get this picture from the internet. This is her picture. She's up in a rural part near Canada where there's an Ashtar Command base over the mountains. It's been established. The base is there. And they let her see the city in the clouds. This is one of the cities in the clouds. She took the picture and they let her see it. And this is where the men and women and their families live in the cloud city, in the city in the clouds. And then when they're doing mission work, they go on what they call a working ship. And then there's also a living ship where they live on the ship, and they also grow vegetables and so forth. So this is one of the cloud cities of the Ashtar Command. And she took the picture. This is not from the internet. This is not something she found to show you. This is directly from her.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Commander. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I've actually been to one of these cloud cities, with one of my visits with the space people. We went on a weather ship, and they were explaining to me about the moisture and all that stuff, because I actually saw in my mountains them replacing the moisture, because I thought there was tornadoes or something happening in my mountains, because I'm like, what the heck is going on up there? Because there's like 4 or 5, and it looks like tornadoes coming down, but they were not tornadoes. I just want to, emphasize on that. They weren't tornadoes. What they were, though, was like water spigots coming down, and they just like spray the water with these, or spray the water out into the out back onto the trees and stuff with these. It looks like small tornadoes coming down from their ships. But on the ship, they actually took me to one of these cloud cities where I actually met Commander's brother, who is like he runs a section there on one of these cloud cities. Actually the section that goes and cleans our moisture and things like that. He runs that department on one of these cloud cities. I met the commander's brother. His name is Gerard, and he is very, very nice.
Yeah, so I have a brother named Gerard, and I have 2 sisters that she met on the spaceship. This is all what you're getting if you're new to the show. We're giving you real information that you're not going to get anywhere. What you're hearing here, what you're going to see here, including Saturday night, is some real things that are happening that is going to blow your mind. And this should blow your mind if you've never seen this before. April has been documenting everything here. And so, yeah, there's a lot going on, folks, that you're not going to find anywhere else except right here on this program on Encounters. And also, when April is live, she does her own lives, you'll find out stuff that she'll share there too. But with this whole thing with the city ship is just beautiful. It's not a mirage. It's not, I know what mirages are. They allowed her to photograph this because they want the people of the world to know that it is real, that the city ship is I keep saying city ship. The cities in the clouds are real. They are real. So, you know, if this is like new to your consciousness and all your life you've gone to school with the textbooks and being told what's real, throw that stuff into the garbage, because what you're being shown now is stuff that is really happening. This is real. This is not dream state. This is not, you know, like let's meditate and hope we see something. This is physically in the skies, and the command let her see this and photograph it. Okay?
Yeah, so it's actually beautiful. These are all over our planet. These cloud cities are in our atmosphere, and it's quite beautiful. We also have space stations that are underneath our ocean's waters as well. There are 7 major space stations that are underneath our ocean waters, and several smaller stations or cities, would you know, if you want to call them that, but several smaller cities all over the place in our ocean's waters. They are very cloaked and have been there for a very long time.
Right.
Guys, so these places actually exist. People have been reporting seeing these cloud cities for a long time. You know, they've often mistaken as, you know, people have said that they have seen these cities, but they think that they're seeing like glimpses into heaven and things like that, and they're actually not. That this is what they are, is these cloud
Right.
cities that our space families have put up there, because you
Yeah.
know, guys, they got to have a place to go when
Yeah.
they can't be on the ships at all times. So they decided to put up these cloud cities. And then here's the other thing, guys, is that we're actually, when big contact does happen and the shift starts to happen, we are actually going to have choices as human beings to either go up and live in these cloud cities, or have a choice to go down and live within the ocean cities as well, because you know, they do recognize that our land is overpopulated. They're going to start giving people choices to either live up there, live on the land, or live within the ocean waters.
And
it's
also,
actually pretty cool.
And also, I brought Billy Thomas up. Welcome to Encounters. He had a question either for me or maybe for you. Billy,
Yeah,
welcome
either
to the
one
show.
of you. You said that you had, like, I don't know if you call it worked or helped the Astro Command or something.
Well, I work with a thing called the Astro Command. The Astro Command, losing my voice a little bit. The Astro Command is the overseer of the galactic spiritual worlds of light. So they're the ones that we're talking about. They are the ones that are very positive. I work with them. I came from that level. I'm a star seed, which means that I chose to come here. And I have a brother, an Earth brother. I have family here. But we also have biological cosmic family, which was April was talking about. She's been on the ship 11 times. And there are 4 other of us that within 6 months are going to be also going on the ships ourselves.
Is that
physically.
the same thing as what's it, the Galactic Federation of Light?
All those different groups really don't really mean much, not to be disrespectful to them. But the Ashtar Command really oversees everything. The Ashtar Command is like the United Nations in the global galactic world of everything. Everything goes through the Ashtar Command. All these other groups are like, it's like having little state governments.
I got what you're saying,
Yeah. So the Ashtar Command would be like the overseer of everything intergalactic going on in a really positive, beautiful way.
Is it like possible to have been on other planets and you just don't know? Like, you can't remember?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because, like, I always, I don't know if you guys would know which ship or whatever this is, but it's like the smaller one, and it looks like just a, well, it could be pretty large. It's way up there, but it's always outside my house. It's
Can you
like
describe it?
a rainbow. Like, I've got video of it too.
It's a jellyfish,
Really?
Commander.
Yeah, like really good videos, 2 or 3. Where I got like an iPhone 14 Pro Max, so it's like I can zoom in pretty good, and it looks like a bunch of flickery, like you know what I'm saying, like a ball of energy almost.
Yeah.
You want me to take this one?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna let April answer that question or interact on that.
Someone
go ahead,
was
April.
saying that those you've been on different planets or come from different certain places depending on which ships kind of hang in your area or
It's
whatever?
that just means what you're speaking of. That just means you are a starseed, and that ship that has been hanging around your area or hanging around you in general is your star family. They are waiting to make contact with you if they already have not slowly been making contact with you. Those rainbow ships, those rainbow ships are actually living entities. Just for starters, all their ships are living entities. They are not steel and metal and mechanical in nature. These ships are actually living entities. But your space family is why they are hanging out there around you, is because they are slowly trying to make contact with you, is to not frighten you or overwhelm you.
Yeah, and I mean, I was even sitting in the car with my son, and like they wasn't there, and I told him, about it, and he was like, "Oh, I don't really believe you." And I was like, "Well, I'm telling you," I said, "they hang out right over there." I pointed, and they was like there, like
Right.
yeah, I mean that instantly, and he was like,
And,
and
and
he
you know what
knew
that
they were.
is? That also means, Billy, that this is what's going to happen now. And you're going to see more of it happen as we go through this year and next year. There's going to be star ships of star people that you're connected with, and people that are open are going to start saying, well, why is there a ship about 30,000 feet above my house in the night sky that wasn't there before? Why? Because contact is getting ready to happen, and it's going to happen relatively soon. When we say relatively soon, I want everyone watching this to realize this. This show's recorded. This will be recorded. You can go on my Ashtar Command Spaceship news page on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel,
Okay.
very active, and you can see all the past shows that we've done on there, including shows with April and other people that we've had interviewed. But I want people to know that if you're having like Billy's experience and saying, "Oh, I'm seeing something like that over my house," understand that you're being prepared. You're eventually being prepared to be contacted by the star people. And this
Yeah, and
is
I was
true.
like freaked out the first time. Like, I mean, I'm literally not afraid of anything. That's just the way I am. And I would not even walk outside. And I kept saying to myself, like in my head, like, I cannot believe, like, I'm not going to walk outside. I was like, because, I mean, I could literally go up against like 5 guys with AR-15s, and I'd go outside and deal with that. But I would not the first time, because it came way down, like right there. Like that's why I got such good video and went back up.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe like how freaked out it made me the first time.
You should send us, if you can send me some of your video.
Yeah, I've got like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, send them to me, to my CmdRAleon at AOL.com. That's my show email address. And we'd love to take a look at the videos.
Yeah, like, let me see if I can. Let me jump on my iPad and see real quick if I can. One thing I wanted to ask her, does it mean like if that type of a ship comes versus a different kind, like they were saying, people were saying that it means you're mostly, keep it down, connected with like a certain planet? Like I thought they said Sirius B or something like that, or something.
I mean, what I think is that it means that you are in some way, some way involved with the Ashtar Command, as most star seeds are, beings of light. And the ship that you are describing is actually an Ashtar Command ship, which your family is probably aboard. Who they are, I could not tell you that. That would be something you would have to meditate on and ask your higher self who that is, or maybe they will answer directly to you who they are. But you can also, with meditation, make contact with them and see if maybe they are willing to come down and talk with you or bring you up aboard the ship and make contact with you if that's what you want.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Like, are we going to stay here? Like, are we going?
I can answer that question. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Because, like you said, you have family here, you have family there,
right?
Like,
so, for example, I'm going to be in 6 months. I'm pretty sure of it. Not just me, but Johnny, who's not also Chesno, who's here, and Kit Kat from Long Island. They selected all of us, including April, as our key contact to start. And there's going to be other places in the world where there's going to be a key person and 4 other people that are going to be contacted by people that are connected with those people and that are having galactic family, so to speak. So for me, to answer your question, I think it is. Are we going to? Can you repeat the question again?
Like,
I
are
got a
we
little bit
going to
sidetracked.
transcend and like leave our bodies and turn into energy, or are we going to
No,
stay in
no,
some
no,
form
nothing
or
like
both?
that. Nothing like that. We're not turning into anything. So when we leave and go to visit our, when you, let's say you have that experience, as April was saying, you finally meet your mother and father on that ship, and you get to see them. You also know that you have a star body in stasis. Everybody does. There's a ship that holds all the star bodies of every human being that has a star body, and it's in stasis until we decide whether we want to go back home and go into that experience, or whether we want to continue our experience on Earth and finish out that experience. So you have a choice. For me, when
Boy,
I
what
go
a
off
hard
planet,
choice! Like,
what a hard choice. But for
yeah, because you
me,
have
I
kids. Because I have kids here. I mean,
yeah.
they're the youngest just turned 18, so they're
Oh, good. Well, for me, they already know that I have a lot of mission work to do here. So I'm not going to go into my physical space body. I'm going to visit. I'll be able to visit as much as I want once I make the physical visit this time. It's
yeah.
not that I have to make a choice. I'll be able to go on the ship all the time. I don't have to be in my physical space body to do it. And you will have the same opportunity as well as everybody else when it happens to you. The five of us together will be constantly going on the ship to learn things. And when we come back to Earth, we're going to bring information that will help humanity. And we're really, there's a lot of things. We're not just going on a joyride. There's a reason why. I mean, we have family, like it happens to just be that April and my family on the ships are friends and have been friends with each other
Wow.
for a long time. So it's not like these are just like some people that are from the stars that are space people that are contacting us. These are our physical, biological, cosmic family. And it's a beautiful story. And when you think about the beautiful story, it's like all my life, I always was wondering where my star family was. All my life as a kid.
So you've
And I
known
had
the
that.
whole time.
I only knew because of when I had the encounter as a kid with the space people in the cul-de-sac that had the light blue space outfits on, that they were telling me, you're not from here. And I didn't know who they were, but I knew they were all very, they had children, they were men and women. I just knew, I went underground with it until I got older, but I knew that I wasn't from here.
Yeah, I
I just
look
So,
knew.
so
back. I
Billy,
look.
so Billy,
Go ahead.
I just want to intervene really quick to also answer, kind of go in with your question that you were asking, and then saying that what a hard choice it is to make about being able to go, back up with your star body or being able to stay down here on Earth. Now, I just wanted to kind of give you a little more information to kind of, kind of hold in the back of your head for when, you get to make your decision. Just think of it like this. Star beings live for hundreds of years. The human experience only lasts for 89 to 100 years is about the max of
Yeah.
human existence. So think of it like that. So if when your human body is done and you were done with your human existence, your
You would be going back anyhow, basically.
yes, you'll go back up to your space body, and you will also at that point be given a choice. Do you want to come back? Have you learned everything you needed to learn? Do you want to have more of an experience on Earth and you can be reborn again, or go back to your space body?
See, the thing that kind of, I don't know, you call it, sold me on it and everything, was as soon as I started finding out about it and thought into the future, like what would I do? The only thing that popped into my head was that not only I probably wouldn't be going back, but I had work to do here, and
Yeah.
that when this planet was done, I wanted to immediately go to wherever the next place is where
Go
people
home.
need help. Like, and
Right.
that was just weird to me. Like I just, not even knowing a lot about it, but I mean, that's just what came into my head. Like, they've done that to this planet and us, and the way that they have, kept energy and charged for stuff that I always knew, like, you don't charge for food.
Right.
Like,
And
he,
your human self doesn't, your human self doesn't remember all of the stuff, but your
yeah,
galactic self does remember all
has
this
like
stuff.
set
That's why
morals in
that's
me
why
or
it's like you
something.
have that sensation of wanting to go home because that's where you're from.
And when I would start watching, that's how I actually learned about, other than seeing the light, that ship or whatever that's always there, like whenever not hasn't always been there. I think it may have even been there when I was a kid, but they so much ostracized it when we was kids that you couldn't even hardly mention the word UFO. You know what
Oh
I mean?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
and it's like he
yeah.
was just
That's
saying
the
I had to
too.
same
take my
that's the same
headphones
thing
off.
that me and the commander went through because I had my first experience at 6 and the commander was around 9 and when he had his first experience and nobody believed us. Like nobody would even go upstairs during the commander's experience and even go
No,
look and they were right there at the window,
and
nobody believed them.
these were my parents, and my brother and my parents. They were like, I went downstairs excited. This, oh yeah, we'll come up. I told them what I was seeing. It's almost like they weren't supposed to be there. Like it wasn't for them to be there. And I think I understand that now. But at the time, you're a kid, you don't
Yeah,
understand those things. You're saying, hey, why don't you come up and see
I
this?
think I think my mind was so closed off that they probably knew there was just no point. Like, I, you know what I mean? I would have just probably looked as a kid the way it was back then, as you know, and just been like, I'm hallucinating. Like, I'm out of my head.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it's 10:30 in the morning. I have to skedoodle. Skedoodle is the
Skadoodle.
word. Skedoodle,
You have to do
skedaddle.
Skittles.
Whenever I got a skittle, get some skittles.
oh, I wanted to try to pull up. I wanted to try and pull up that thing real quick and get that and just type it in and send you that
Yeah,
directly real
definitely.
quick.
I want you, and that goes for anybody watching. I appreciate everybody out there. Please follow us. I'm on at 11 o'clock tonight with a much longer show. So if you're new to the show, thanks for coming here. We're on at 11 p.m. tonight Eastern, 10 Central, 9 Mountain, and 8 o'clock on the West Coast. This is a show called Encounters. It's the #1 spiritual UFO talk show on social media. I'm the host of WESU's popular show, Ashtar Command Radio, for over 21 years on NPR Pacifica Radio affiliate in the United States. And I'm also a contactee. I work with the Ashtar Command directly. I came from a planet from Mars. From the planet Mars, I work in cosmic Christed consciousness. And I'm just one open cosmic book. And April is also one of our people that will be in Connecticut on the 13th, this weekend. We're going to be live on Encounters at 8 o'clock. We're going to be broadcasting live into space. Our camera's going to be faced into the sky. We're going to be broadcasting several Ashtar Command spaceships that will physically surprise us. There's a surprise with the sighting. I don't know what that's going to be. We have no idea what's going to happen. We just know that my father and April is that's the word I'm trying to, she's provided the information to me that, Commander, they're going to surprise you. It's like a belated birthday present. And I have no idea what's going to happen, but we're going to be broadcasting it. We're going to have our C5 Ashtar Command group, which we've run for 11 years. It's a contact group we have here in the United States, here in New England. And we're going to be all together. I have a feeling there are going to be quite a few people attending. We're going to be doing this in an apple orchard field in 2 towns away from my town where I am here. And we're going to be in the apple orchard recording.
Where are you located?
Say again?
Where are you located?
We're in Connecticut. We're in central Connecticut. We're going to be in a town called Middlefield, and the apple orchard is in Middlefield, and we're going to be live in the apple orchard in the field part of the orchard where we're going to be recording the spaceships.
Yeah, I'm traveling from
her
Vermont to get down there for this event.
Yeah, and she has to be there. Friends with Fairies is coming.
And the other person on the live, what's your name?
April. My name is April, or Friends with Fairies.
If he's got to get off here after I send him this video, is there any way I can go on live with you or talk to you for 5-10 minutes?
Yeah,
absolutely.
April does some lives, and she'll be going live at some point, and she'll be happy to, if people want to learn about it, she'll be able to share a lot more information during her program. I want to thank everybody for being here. April, thanks again.
You are so welcome.
And it's been a great show. We've actually had today, since I've been on for only an hour and 30 minutes, 10,500 people watched the show.
Wow.
So we had 10,500 people, contrary to what you see with the 258. In total, since we've been on, we had 10,500 people, whether they've been viewing in for 5 or 10 minutes or 30 minutes.
Commander,
That's
I'm
a
going
lot
to
of
hop
people.
down real quick. I'm going to
Yeah,
hop down.
I'm
You
letting
guys
you
have
go.
a great day.
And will you be on live later?
Yeah, I will.
Okay,
She will
thank
be.
you.
I
And
followed you,
tonight,
so just keep an eye out.
yeah,
Okay.
and watch out. And people follow April, so you know when she's live. I'll be on at 11 o'clock with Encounters tonight. And please, I'm glad so many of you have found the show. We'll see you all tonight if you're going to be awake.
Can you
And
give me
wherever you
that email address?
are.
Do I go
And
through
my email
Gmail?
address is CM. That's
Is that
Charlie.
Gmail?
Yeah, my email address is CmdrAleon at AOL.com. And if anybody has any video footage or stories regarding space people, or you have any videos you want to share with us that currently you're taking of the spaceships and you want to tell your story, let me know. If you have a story to tell and I didn't get you on tonight, I will definitely be interviewing more people. So I love to interview you. I hope that you will share your stories tonight. If you have over 200 people, you can come on the show with audio, over 1,000 audio and video. Okay, everybody? Take care. Thank you for being here, everybody. This has been the morning edition of Encounters.
Thank you.
Have a great, hey, Billy, thanks for coming on. We appreciate you so much, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right. And we're going to let him go. And again, we want to thank everybody. Brian Eldridge is again, Commander. I am in Connecticut. Brian Eldridge, okay. Brian, message me. I'm going to follow you. Send me a message here. When I get to have a break, I will look at it. Karen, see you tonight. Everybody, take care. I'm aware that there are a lot of people here that probably wanted to share a story. I couldn't get to everybody today, but tonight we'll have more time to interview people. So take care, everybody. Have a good day. Be blessed.